Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to share how much it cost me to live in Bangkok, Thailand in 2024. I'll cut to the chase and show you exactly how much it cost me to live here. But if you're interested, please stay and watch the rest of the video as I will show you all these nuances. And the way I look at it is that we are just kind of like monkeys that consume and produce, right? So by looking at how you spend your money, it can really give you a good picture of how you're doing with your life. Okay, so this is what it looks like in Canadian dollars, roughly $3,500 per month. So here's a more detailed breakdown of each items. Later on in the sections, I'll cover what this breakdown means. This is the same information in US dollars and the same breakdown in US dollars. This is what it looks like in Thai baht, and here's the detailed breakdown in Thai baht. Okay, so for the nuance. First, I use a software to track down everything, down to the penny. And I know it seems kind of nuts, but understanding where my money went really helps me make big decisions in life, such as living in Thailand. And by the way, it's not even that hard. It's kind of like brushing your teeth once you get used to it. I file twice a week here. Back home in Canada, I mostly file every 2 weeks. But why so often in here? Back in Canada, most of my spending is on credit card, and I have a pretty good idea where things went. So for example, if I see a purchase at Home Depot, I know that's not grocery, right? But here in Thailand, a lot of these transactions are made in cash, and so it's harder for me to track. But why track at all? If you're serious about moving to a different country, I strongly recommend you to do some sort of tracking. There are at least two reasons. The first reason is the unfamiliar currency. So back home, I know exactly what a $20 is worth. It's much more relatable. But here, I'm less sensitive to the price without pulling out my calculator. And because of that, you tend to spend more money that way. And second is there are a lot of things to do here, and you can get lost pretty quickly, especially for a single guy. I'm just going to leave it at that. Another thing I want to mention is out of this budget, many things can be optimized. For example, there are definitely cheaper options with regards to housing. Second thing is the startup cost. So like buying this chair, that's a one-time purchase that has to be factored in as well. And the final and most important thing about this budget is that it depends on your habits. Everyone's habit is different, but my hope is by giving you a detailed breakdown, you can use this information and adjust to your needs. With that being said, let's dig into the details. So the biggest expense is rental. It cost me 31,000 baht per month. I live in this condo called Q Chitlom. It is marketed as one of the luxury condo, and these are what the pictures looks like. And by the way, like this is legitimate room photos. Like it does actually look like this in in this place. So this place I'm currently at is a one bedroom studio, 47 square meters. There's even a hot tub, and these amenities are quite nice. There's a gym and a swimming pool that goes around the condo, so you can swim in laps instead of going back and forth. There's also a sauna. This area is pretty much close to everything. It's close to BTS SkyTrain, which is super important if you don't drive. When I decided on this place, ideally I wanted to be close to a shopping center. This particular condo is pretty much walking distance to Central World. Central World is the ninth largest shopping complex in the world, so that's kind of why it is expensive. Okay, so the second largest bucket of expense is food. Each month I spend about 20,000 baht, and the categories are groceries, restaurant with AC. I know that sounds weird, but I'll get into that. And then protein powder. I know that sounds weird as well. I'm gonna get into that. And restaurant without AC, food court, beverages, and food stall. So now let's check the Canadian dollars. So here's the breakdown for Canadian dollars, about 780 per month, and US dollars, about 600 per month. So the next thing is protein powder. Really, the Thai diet is mostly carbohydrate, and if you come from Canada or the West, you'll find that your protein intake is not meeting your needs. To be honest, I wasn't even on this stuff when I was back home. And then for the rest, I have to really break this down for you. Okay, for the restaurant and eating out, it's a bit tricky in Thailand because there's a huge range. I'm not talking about going to some Michelin star, talking about like going to a normal restaurant. Maybe a little bit fancy. You can imagine it's kind of like the keg or like a steakhouse, right? And at the low end, you can go to like food stalls. These are the cheapest option here. And another thing I found is that if the restaurant has AC, because it's so hot in here, that it will just in general cost more, right? That would make sense, right? So I break it down in those items. So for a restaurant with AC, normally you're looking at somewhere around 300 to 1,000 baht, which is around $12 to $38 Canadian or $8 to $28 in the US. For restaurant with no AC, it's like half the price. You're looking at normally 150, which is $6 in Canadian or $4.50 in the States. For food store, you're looking at around 50 baht, which is equivalent to $2 or $1.50 in the States. And finally, for food court is actually a lot more comfortable than you imagine. There's AC. Normally, the environment is not very chaotic because some of these street food, you're just literally sitting on the street. You're looking at around 100 baht per meal, which is around $4 Canadian or $3 USD. Entertainment. In terms of entertainment, the breakdown is the follows: dating, massage, and socializing. I know what you guys are thinking. Wow, this guy doesn't spend a lot of time entertaining himself. But this is the type of entertainment that I like. I go out with my girlfriend, I socialize with my friends, and I go on massages. By the way, these are legitimate Thai massage, not rub and tugs. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And this is what it looks like in Canadian dollars, around $600 per month. And in US dollars, around $450 per month. So what is under dating? These are all the items under dating. Meeting with different people from online dating. And normally what I do is I pay for dinner on the first date. And I actually split the transactions so that my portion would be grouped under dining and the one that I'm paying for would be grouped under dating. There's stuff like going to Ocean Life. This is a resort where I went to Pattaya for that week, and going to a theme park, going to a cat cafe, going to an art museum, and all that. So just normal people stuff. For dinners and drinks, sometimes I pay, sometimes my girlfriend pay, and so that's kind of how this budget goes with dating. For massage, give you a rough idea of how much things are. The range in Thailand can be huge. I've went to massage 3 times here in Thailand. First time is only 300 baht, and actually that's a gay rub and tug. And I'll cover that story later on. I made a lot of mistakes when I'm in Thailand, but it's only 300 baht, okay? The second time I went with a friend for 2.5 hours epic massage, and that costs 2,000 baht. The third time I went is for 90 minutes. It costs 1,000 baht. So depending on where you go, it really makes a significant difference. The next thing is Muay Thai. Muay Thai consists of 7% of my total monthly cost. It's 700 Thai baht per visit. I go twice a week. It's around $250 Canadian or 190 US dollars and 6,700 Thai baht. I know there are different options out there for Muay Thai, but in this particular school, it costs a little bit more because of the Thai visa. I am on the education visa, learning Muay Thai. There are different options out there. Normally, people learn the language. If you don't want to, you can learn Muay Thai, you can learn diving, you can learn Thai massage, and you can learn Thai cooking. If you are thinking about just doing this visa yourself, it is not straightforward. I have no idea how this process works. There is some knowledge with regards to how to apply for this visa. For example, for me, the last time I visited the immigration office, there is like 50 pages of documents proving that I was there, when I was there, pictures of me kicking the bag, where do I live, all this other stuff. For me, paying a little bit extra just to get the visa, not have to worry about being kicked out of the country, is a great option. Okay, so there you have it. That consists of 80% of my monthly budget. There are other stuff too, like utilities, transportation, shopping, and other miscellaneous items, but I don't think they're that important because it doesn't make a significant difference in your budget. For utilities, you're looking at $230 per month Canadian, roughly what I spent on Muay Thai. But some final thoughts. First, transportation. Transportation is interesting because I look at my transportation expense, it comes down to around $90 Canadian per month. But for me to park my car in a parking lot in Canada, it costs me $100. And I have to put fire insurance on it, around $45. I'm spending $145 every month just to put my car there. I'm not even in the country. Yet I am spending less amount on transportation here in Thailand. Just think about that for a second and try to figure out what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but this is how things are in our country. Now, the second thought I want to share is accountability and tobacco consumptions. My smoking habits have definitely changed ever since I come to Thailand. This is just a dollar amount to give you a reference. In Canada, I spent around 130 bucks per month on tobacco. There are some months that just, I don't know, maybe I'm going out a lot or maybe I'm just stressed. But on average, it's about $130 per month. And each carton has 100 cigarettes. Now, ever since I came to Thailand, I don't know, maybe I'm just happier and I smoke significantly less. When I first arrived in March, I only smoked 3 packs and each pack is 10. So I only smoked 30 cigarettes that month. I didn't smoke at all in April. I smoked a pack in May. And here, something happened. So at the end of May and throughout June, a good friend of mine came to Thailand to visit me and we hang out a lot and we smoke a lot, and that's expected. And now we are in July and I haven't smoked ever since he left. And to give you a reference in terms of number of cigarettes, you can see that in Canada, I'm smoking around triple digits a month. And in Thailand, I'm smoking a lot less. So the reason why I want to show you this is because a lot of times when you don't track your expense, it's really hard to figure out what happened in your life. So tracking expense, I think, is super important because it adds some sort of accountability to your habits as well, in terms of money or in terms of absolute number of cigarettes being smoked. And with that data, you can make changes in your life to improve your health and everything else. So there you have it. That's the 40-year-old guy's budget in Thailand. How does that compare to what it was in Canada? In future video, I'll show you side-by-side comparison. Spoiler alert, it is very different. I hope you find this video useful, and if you do, please hit subscribe, or if you have any questions, please drop me a comment below. In future videos, I will share some of my thoughts about Thailand and some of the interesting things that happened to me in this country. I'll also share my thoughts about Canada and what happened to me in Canada. Compare the two, and hopefully you find these information useful. I'll see you next time.